Michael Todd believes that he can be the favorite against VITALY. Michael was presented with a super chat in his livestream discussing a potential match between him and VITALY LALETIN. And Michael agreed that he can be and he should be the favorite against VITALY. But wait, isn't VITALY supposed to be the next Levan Slayer in everyone's opinion? Well, yes, but Michael has a plan to defeat him. First of all, Michael's plan is to get a good slip against VITALY. That can be a little controversial right there, because who really gets a good slip against VITALY? It's almost impossible. Anyways, Michael said that in the strap, you have to maintain as much riser and pronation as possible as you drag straight to the rear end of the pad. So when he hits sideways, his arm opens up. We saw in the ARMWRESTLING versus VITALY match that ARMWRESTLING relied a lot on back pressure and up pressure to defeat VITALY. But the thing is that ARMWRESTLING probably has the strongest back pressure in the world. Michael is also the leader in the pronation engaged back pressure exercise. I don't think anybody is going to do more than him, but that's a slightly different exercise. You need to apply a lot of up pressure, posting style back pressure to defeat VITALY. And I don't think that's exactly what Michael is doing as of now. The closer Hermes Gasparini stopped VITALY to the pad, the more difficult it was for him to bring him back, and the matches lasted forever. That's why his shoulder hurt even months after the super match. But it doesn't really matter to Michael where the match stops as long as it stops. Because if Michael stops VITALY, then VITALY will need to have a transitional press to defeat Michael. And this is something which we haven't really seen VITALY do. So unless VITALY is able to climb so high into Michael's hand that he's literally on the fingertips, he will need that press. And that press is something which he doesn't have as of now, and he will be in some big trouble. But then there's VITALY's giant hand. The insane amount of coverage that VITALY gets on your hand and top rolls you straight to the pad without even letting you slip, just like he did in his previous match, that's going to be problematic for anyone. Michael is eventually trying to prevent that. It's going to be really difficult no matter how much you plan for it. Michael is relying on VITALY's dumped riser to do that. I'll say that used to be VITALY's style until his last match against Georgy Zaranov, where he was at the absolute front edge of the pad and his riser was as high as it can possibly be. VITALY said before this match that he would also like to arm wrestle with his riser intact without being in a low hand pistol grip kind of position. But since he's not Devon Larratt, he has to follow those rules and the referee forces his wrist down. But we didn't see that in the Georgy Zaranov match. Somehow, magically in this position, the referee said go, and VITALY, as expected, flash pinned his opponent. If that happens against Michael Todd, who is very similar in size to Georgy Zaranov, then he's also going to be in some trouble. And when you're facing VITALY, the threat, the danger of getting flash pinned is always revolving around you. It doesn't matter who you are. Even Hermes Gasparini, the guy who defeated VITALY, he got flash pinned a couple of times by VITALY. So nobody is safe. So anyways, I don't really think this match is going to happen anytime soon. Michael is focused on Hermes, then Levan, and for VITALY, I'm not really sure if VITALY himself has decided yet who he wants next, or if the promoters, the organizers have decided yet who they want VITALY to face next. Maybe it can be Levan straight away. Maybe it can be the winner of Jerry versus Levan match. Maybe it can be the loser of Jerry versus Levan match. Maybe it can be the winner of Michael versus Hermes match. Maybe it can be the loser of Michael versus Hermes match. Maybe it can be the loser of the winner of Michael versus Hermes match versus the winner of Jerry versus Levan match. Or maybe it can be the loser of that match. I know I made a complete mess of it, but I think if you rewind this situation, I think I was making sense. All of those matches can actually happen. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.